What is up, gamers? In this video, we have 4 Nintendo DS Lites that I bought in a lot from eBay. Their issues were listed in the description. He says that one works great, one console's R button doesn't work, one console's A button doesn't work, and then the red one here doesn't turn on. I'm going to test each of these just to make sure that they don't have any more issues, and I don't even know which one is which, so, well, besides the red one, that'd be sad. Anyways, first, let's just start by testing. So they all turn on. This one has great screens. Okay, so this A button does not work, definitely does not work. Shoulder buttons work. Let's see if the touch screen works. Okay, and then let's make sure each of these guys can read games too. We can see it's a little dirty in the... It read the DS game, and it read the Game Boy game. Alright, so this one is the A button one. Good shape. Again, really good screens. Yeah, this one's L button doesn't work. The R works just fine. Plus, it's very sticky. So I don't know what was going on there, but I'll need to clean that stickiness up. And then this one... Okay, again, really good screens. L works. Buttons are clicky. Okay. And now R is not working. So this one must be the R one. And then the red one... Green light. I think the top screen flashed. Hey guys. So the top screen flashing means that it's having difficulty knowing, or it doesn't know that there's a bottom screen plugged in. So either the bottom screen is messed up or the motherboard is corroded to the point to where it got the bottom screen and the bottom screen connector. So we'll take a look at this guy closer to the end. First and foremost, we got the one console with L and the one console with R. They're in pretty good shape. They need cleaned. Let's get these guys disassembled then. Gonna get a pick in here underneath all of these rubber pads. Okay, now I can get the battery door off. Alright, now we can get these batteries out. These batteries are good. And now we will get out all of the screws. We can leave these 2 screws in because they are holding the motherboard down, but we don't need to go anywhere past the motherboard on this DS because we're only fixing the shoulder buttons. Okay, so now we can pry up. Just like that. Same for this dude. Alrighty. So R here and L here. Whoa. Alright. So how I fix shoulder buttons, I pry open the button itself. There's a metal shielding around it that holds the rubber piece in place and the metal piece that clicks. You don't want to open it all the way because then it can break the connection that it has to the board, which would be pretty sad. Wouldn't need to resolder it. So this one here, we can see it's like reddish in there. It's supposed to be clean, clean, clean. We don't want to see any redness in there. Sometimes they're blue, sometimes they're yellow or orange. Just all depends. And now, just with that little bit of scraping, we can see, man, look how shiny that is now. So that's perfect. I'll just do it a little more. And then I'm going to do the same thing for this one. So this one, you can't really tell anything's wrong with it, but still, you just want to scrape it. Sometimes the gunk, you can't really see the gunk. And now for this little ring here, it's also supposed to be clean, but we can see it's definitely not. It's like kind of green and blue and orange and red and all these really fun colors, but they're not fun because they take the fun out of playing because they make it not work. So you want to do the same thing for these little round pieces. Now you want to do this against a hard surface just for the best leverage, and you do not want to go too hard on these pieces because they can lose their clickiness, and that wouldn't be very good. So after a little bit of scraping, we can see it looks pretty much better. And now this one looks rough. I don't think I've ever quite seen one like this before. It's like half of it is really dirty, and then in the middle right there, that's where it's like clean. All right, so now we have this one shiny and clean. That's how it should be. Now for the final touch, I'm gonna brush it. I sprayed my toothbrush with some soapy water, just a very, very, very light spray. But now I'm brushing it clean, and now I'm gonna brush inside of here clean as well. Now same for this one. So after that's done, I grab my magnetic free tweezers, pick up the ring, and I drop it back in here. And now I click it to make sure it clicks, and this one does. It wouldn't matter if you mix and matched the rubber pads or the metal rings, but I like to keep them true to their DS just because sometimes they can have a little slightly different click than each other. So I'd rather keep it the same, and now it's all back together. And it clicks nicely, so I'm going to do the same exact thing for this guy. Put this rubber piece back in. Then we can close this. And pinch. Pinch it shut. That's going to work like new now. Put it back in just like that, and now these guys are all ready to be reassembled. You need to make sure the power switch is in the down position before you close it. Otherwise, that power switch could take the nub off of the power switch. That would not be good. And that's perfect. So now we're going to get all these screws back in. All right, now we can get these rubber pads back on. Boom. Now I'm going to clean up the inside of the battery compartment just a little bit, because there's some dirt that's just built up over the years. Nothing crazy, though. Same for the battery doors. Now we can get these batteries back in. Battery doors back on. And let's screw, boy! Alright, so this one's R button should work now. Let's try that again, guys! Okay, that worked. And this one's L button should work. These DSs are so nice. Works like new. So now I'm going to load up PictoChat just to fully test them, make sure they work with every single click, no matter where you click them, because sometimes it'll work when you click in a specific area, but not others. It's weird. And we can see this one works fantastic. So now this one, again, it's working no matter where I hit the button. So these DSs work like absolute new. I'll just need to clean them up, but these guys are fixed. Now we need to take a look at this guy with the bad A button. If I open it up, we can see that it works, I guess. It doesn't work with every press. See, it's not working at all right here. So all other buttons work though, but I'm going to take this guy apart and show you exactly how to fix that. Open it up. Looks good. Get the shoulder buttons out, and now there's one screw right here. Now, we don't need to mess with the Wi-Fi chip or the black cable or the white cable or the digitizer cable right there. We can just straight up open it up. Get my fingers in there to push it through. Okay. So I can see the D-pad is 32. I'm not quite sure how the D-pad works. Totally fine. So we're going to get the D-pad cleaned up as well. Going to make sure these are clean. So for this, I use my Dremel. You might think it's overkill, but it works like absolute new. It keeps these DSs working like absolute new for years and years and years. People say that you can use IPA and a Q-tip to clean these, but if you see this gunk, that gunk is stuck on, and it's not going to want to come out. It's not going to want to come off easily unless you literally scrape it. See, I'm scraping it decently hard with this pick, and it's still not even really wanting to go anywhere. So with IPA, it just unfortunately doesn't work as well as scraping it or by using a gentle sanding bit on a Dremel. So I set it to medium speed, and then I just hit each button until the whole thing has been gone over. I'll show you what that looks like right now. And I get my microfiber towel, and I soak up all of the dust here. And so now we see it's basically just renewed. The gold plating is still there. It still works great. I have sanded for a lot more because there was a lot more gunk in the past. You don't sand through it. And even if you sand down to copper, it still works totally fine. But of course you want to try to not sand down to copper. But my point is it works totally fine. It'll make it work like new. And there's absolutely zero harm in sanding it down like this. So now I'm going to get my soapy water and I'm going to clean off these rubber pads because these guys are actually what cause the grime buildup on the gold plates. So you want to clean it up, get any and all possible grime out, and basically renews these rubber pads. All right, so now we can fold the board back down. Make sure that the white cable is in its place while we're doing this. See, it kind of wants to pop out. All right, and then we can see it's totally flush here. That's exactly what we want to see. Otherwise, you would need to adjust the white cable, make sure it's in its tracks. But now we just reassemble because now the console is all fixed. A works, E works, Y works, X works, right, left work, down, up works. So this console works like absolute new. Again, I'm going to set it up, go into PictoChat just to ensure that all of the buttons work like new. But these three black consoles are fixed. They work great now. All right, so now on to the red one, the fun one. This one, the top screen flashes. I don't see any visible dead pixels. I don't see anything wrong with the top screen, so we're going to hope that the top screen is good, And we're going to disassemble it and hope that all it needs is a bottom LCD. But it likely needs a new board. All right, now before I do anything with the Wi-Fi chip or the digitizer cable, I'm going to just open it up and inspect. See what could be... Oh, well, look at that. The bottom screen is just totally creased, so it's definitely the bottom screen that's bad. So I'm going to go back over here, undo the Wi-Fi chip, unplug the microphone cable, which is the white one, and I'm going to pry up the digitizer connector, and just like that, we'll get our bottom screen out. So this guy is unfortunately defective. He's just creased right there. Creases are very bad for ribbon cables. So I'm going to pop in this white one. I will change that out if it's good. I don't need to plug the digitizer cable in, so I'm not going to because we're only testing the LCD and making sure the console turns on. So this battery was charged. Let's see if it turns on. Man, look at that. Turns on, looks great. So I see X and Y are a little yellow here, so I'm going to replace those as well. But we need to get the white border changed out with the black one. So to do this, I need to be really careful or else I might mess up this digitizer. I need to pry up from here. Oh, wow, that's easy. All right, that came right off. Sometimes it's a struggle. So now we got to do the same thing for this one to get the black one. Wow, this one came super easy too. So I see there's some grime on these buttons just like the other console. So I'm going to clean that up just to make sure they work like new. So quick and easy, and it'll make the buttons work like new. And then I'm going to remove the two buttons that were yellow. Got a white one here, and there. All right, so now I'm going to get this LCD in place. Plug it in. Close the clamp, and I'm going to clean these button rubbers just like the other console. Make sure it clicks well. So we're going to run this microphone cable in its tracks. I can see it's popping out. And now we can drop this board over. And I want to plug in the digitizer cable. Close the clamp just like that, perfect. Plug in our Wi-Fi chip, and then we can get these two screws for the motherboard in. Shoulder button on, other shoulder button on. Make sure volume is down, make sure volume is down, make sure power switch is down, and we can put it on top. We get the rubber pads back on. Clean up the battery door and the battery compartment. Get that on, screw it in place, and now this one should work like new too. We can get our border on, just place it. Place it in place, if you know what I mean. Works great. So there we have it. I still need to clean them, but these 4 DS lights are totally fixed. They work like new. They have great screens, and I'm super happy with my purchase. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful in any way, please be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out my channel. Thanks a ton for watching, and I'll see you next time.